A check. Hey, what's up, Taz and anyone else watching? Just had a minor hiccup with the internet there, but YouTube Studio says the connection is excellent now, so I'll be with you all in just a second. Alright, I think I got all the link sharing taken care of. Let's lower the screen. Welcome everybody. Hello. Hello again, Taz, and hello Jellyfish23, Anika, John Bear, I should say, Cyber Scorpio 94, and 80. Hello. Thanks for coming, everybody. There won't be too many burps this stream as I'm drinking a green tea, but as you can see here, it's a Gundam cup, so there you go. There I am, yep. So tonight is, as I said in the post, is the final Gusion live stream. It's not necessarily because it's almost the painting's almost done. It's more, it's like I'm at the point now where I can show off some of the freehand painting I've been doing And that was just something I knew I definitely wanted to show off on stream. That's what all the streams have been kind of building up to. But the freehand is pretty tedious. It's fun. It's just a little, like, it takes a while to do, so there's gonna be a lot of painting off camera. I'll just pull out all the pieces. So let's put the lid back on the palette for a second. Actually, I gotta decide which pieces I'm gonna work on tonight, because a bunch of them are just like halfway through, or I haven't gotten any freehand. So I'll go through everything I've done. Yeah, the tea doesn't look green, that's true. Not all green tea looks like literally green, I guess. It's not matcha or anything, unfortunately. I could go for some of that. And if anyone was wondering if I am including the head feather thing, I am. I'm just like, it's gonna be one of the last things that gets painted. Because if you think of like, if it was attached on here to the head while I painted, that'd be like a bit of a pain, you know? This jacket's a little hot too. I'm just gonna slide that off. Oh, there goes YouTube complaining about the bitrate again. Hello Riptos and Joel G. Glad you like the hammer, 80. Alright, well, so we got the legs here. I painted the freehand just on the inside here because I actually had these detached at the feet and painted it separately, because awkwardly painting the legs while they're on the base and getting inside there to get all that freehand done would be pretty rough. And then I did some of the blue thrust, or the glow effect. This is the first glow effect I've done for this product. It's pretty like these are the ones on the inside, so it's hard to see. You'll be able to see it better on these ones here. And yeah, doing this glow effect on the side was a little messy. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'll revisit it towards the end of the project, but maybe out when I paint these, which I'll do on camera for the video. I'll come up with something a bit more effective, but I think I'm also okay like leaving these how they are. The glow effects always kind of look a little messy on my end. And the butt plate here still needs the black edge highlighting to be finished. Same with this part of the leg. So I'm not sure how much we'll do on the legs. I might as well give all of these a quick blow of air as I'm going through them to get rid of dust. Hopefully that's not super annoying on the mic. The head doesn't have any freehand done on it yet, just the black is finished. Not much to report there. So on the chest here, see I've done a bit of freehanding on the back. And this is like the first layer of the freehanding, is just straight up red. Golden high flow red I'm using. It's called Red Napfall Light, I think. And so yeah, that's the base layer of the freehand. I can show both these at the same time. This is the waist side piece. And the shoulder is partially finished. It's not done on the front, just on the sides. As you can see, last night I was like figuring out the patterns I wanted to do. So then it's a mixture of model color pink just mixed in with that red, and that just goes on top, and also as like a final edge highlight around the edges there. And that's how I've been finishing this red armor. And you can see so you can kind of see this one's only partially done. So you can kind of see what it looks like before and after. And we got the pattern on the bottom here. And I finished the edge highlighting on this last stream. And this arm and waist plate are not done, or I haven't gotten anything done. I think what we'll probably do in this stream is probably finish this part of the shoulder pad, and then I'll probably finish this back part like all across. Yeah, I'll start. Well, let's start with just the arm. Baby steps. Oh, and I could finish this. I'll do that as well. I might as well fit the backs of the legs here. It's like partially done, so I guess we'll start with those partial ones. Yeah. Guess we'll have to see what the condition of the paint on the palette is. I'm not sure if I have to refill yet. Yeah, country fried minis. It's beefy. Thanks, Taz. And Caleb. Welcome. Country fried minis. The filigree's going on all the maroon burgundy panels, not the black ones. I think if I did on the black ones as well, that would be, well, I mean, it'd be an overwhelming amount of painting, but that would also be just a little overwhelming on the eyes. The black is like, it's handy to have the black to kind of break it up a bit. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start by finishing those. Oh, and I forgot about my hole. I'm gonna blow them off with air as I go. And of course, as usual, let me know if the stream's looking and sounding okay, or let me know if something's wrong, and I'll do my best to fix it. Thanks, Country Fried. And as usual, the stream bitrate's a little wonky. Hopefully that's just resolves itself. As you can see, the WAP here is getting nice and messy. And it looks like I've still got a decent amount of pink on there. I just need to mix in some red. Thanks for confirming, Taz. And 80. I did trim my beard today, but I tried to go for more of like a point to it. But then the problem is when you put on a mask, it adds this like chin indent to it. I don't know if it'll show up on the face cam. I did clean the nail polish off my nails as well because they're getting pretty chipped. But I put a note in the script to paint them again for when I film the talking head section. I think I should need to figure out a better light placement for the overhead lights because it adds a lot of glare to the palette. I don't know how much you all pay attention to the palette when I'm painting. The brush strokes themselves are a bit more engaging, I'd assume. I should add a little bit of water to the palette before it gets contaminated with paint. Yeah, Cyber Scorpio, if I was going for some sort of, or if my paint inspiration came from something with ruins, I'm sure ruins could look pretty good, but my my main inspiration on this project was like looking at old sets of like Renaissance parade armor and stuff. And there's a Warhammer guy called Brad Glover Kitbash is his account name. I'll be showing examples of his work in the video. The way they paint some of their Tau took some inspiration from that, and also rewatched friend of the channel Fiverr Sugar Candy Miniatures freehand video. Those are my main points of inspiration, which talk about a bit more in the actual video. I'll like form a more formal sentence about it, about the inspirations. I don't remember where I originally got the idea to do freehanding, but I just, you know, at some point I knew for sure that that's what I wanted to do with this. Yeah, exactly, 80. Okay, we got the nice Windsor Newton, which size 1 for the precise work. Damn, Caleb, impressive. The red line, the first line of the freehand, is done with a bigger brush. And then with this second brush, you know, I try and paint it in a way so there's like some red showing on the sides of the line, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And like doing this second line with the pink also gives the opportunity to like adjust the line in certain ways, or like, you know, paint it in certain ways to fix. I mean, it's kind of impossible to paint it in a way where like the pattern will be symmetrical on both sides. But when I'm doing this pink line, I can like manipulate the shape of the line a little bit to like make things look slightly less uneven. I haven't at any point tried, like I just do my best eyeballing it to make them look even enough. And sure, like if you look up close at all of these freehand patterns on the armor at the end, like none of them are going to be perfectly symmetrical or matching. But for this, like for the amount of just visual information that's going to be going on, both in terms of like the highlights, shadows, and like the freehand shapes themselves, like close enough is definitely good enough. I think that was like a snappy line I wrote down for the script today too. It's like close enough, more like good enough. Still workshopping that one. You know how I roll, I embrace all them messy paint strokes. Yes, Nick, Rice Krispies are good. Three Collectors Series D&D minis, though. Are those the unpainted ones or the painted ones? Yeah, that's definitely some model mayhem there. And in terms of how I came up with the freehand patterns, it was mostly I just kind of, like I did a couple sketches on paper beforehand. In those sketches, like before I did them, I like looked at those inspiration images I was talking about before. But a lot of it was just going by feel. I'll have to like try and articulate my thoughts on that better for the actual video script. But I was just literally doing like, just painting what I thought would look good. I'm glad it reads as identical in camera, Taz. Oh, the Gale Force 9 ones? Yeah, I think I know those ones. Which minis did you get? Alright, well I'm done the freehand pattern on here. I'll do the edge highlighting part now and then move down to the bottom. I know I worked on the stream a lot worked on the hammer a lot in last stream, so I don't know how much else I'll do after I finish these two sides. Oh yeah, Cyber Scorpio, did you freehand on the camouflage? I think whether you mask it on or freehand it on, the camouflage can be a bit tedious. Not that I've done it. And yeah, so the edge highlight I'm doing here is literally just the same as I did on the black the other stream. It's mostly highlighting the corners. Maybe I'll make this line on the bottom part of the hammer slightly shorter, because it would possibly catch less light. Make the ones on top a little longer. Twin Death Knights from Dungeon of the Mad Mage and a Lich. Nice. This is a gaming piece, 80. I'm back to doing a Gunpla for a tabletop game. I mean, the last project I did, it could be used for a tabletop game. It has a base, it's just not attached to the base, so that makes using it for a tabletop game just slightly more annoying. I mean, there's various ways I could, or I guess I could use putty to attach it to the base temporarily, but it would still be a little loose. By putty, I mean blue tack. But you know, that project, or that project was more of like, I was doing it for the revitalization aspect, not the not to have another gaming piece. When I get around to it, I might post that one for sale. Once when I get around to it, I mean like when I get around to selling a few kits. Shelves are getting pretty tight. I don't have the highlight reel or the highlight on my Instagram showing off the for sale models at the moment, because I had the idea that I would switch over to eBay or something eventually. I just haven't had the time for it yet. No need to be late, Solarian. Just, you know, painting the freehand. You could scroll back to the beginning of the stream to see me showing off like a bunch of parts. I'm sure I could use a Zoid for Gamma Wolves. Don't have any at the moment. I'm not, when it comes to customizing stuff for tabletop games, I'm not of the, I don't have the stance of like everything needs to be Bandai. Be counterintuitive to the point of the miniatures agnostic games in the first place. It's like it would depend on which models would be in the crew. Like I would still want the models to like look good together aesthetically. But you know, I'm sure some Kotobukiya and Bandai kits can look good next to each other. The Sasabi commission, the real grade Sasabi commission I did last year, that had some Kotobukiya parts. So, you know, would have been disqualified from the Gunpla World Championship or whatever. A core Gundam would probably look good riding a Zoid into war. Oh, I used a template Cyber Scorpion, nice. Forgot about that method, that seems pretty effective. Okay, move this light a bit. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. Okay, it's time to move on to the bottom of the hammer. What do you all think of the freehand so far? Is it what you were expecting? I'm not sure how many of you watching have been like watching the other streams, but I feel like I keep bringing up the freehand. Or I was bringing up the freehand a lot and not actually doing it. I've been looking forward to trying out this experiment because, you know, I've never quite painted a Gunpla model like this, and I don't have that much experience with freehand painting in general. Just a little bit. But this has been super fun so far. Yeah, it would depend on the Zoid. Some of those are pretty big and expensive too. So yeah, this line I'm painting here is where I might like lean more towards the inside edge here, just to like in an attempt to make it match the other side a bit better. You know, accepting that in the end it's not gonna properly match, but I can at least improve it with this second line. And also, this is like the bottom of the hammer. It's definitely not gonna be one of the areas people's eyes are drawn to. At least I hope not. But you know, if it is, it's fine. I'm still clearly doing a freehand pattern on it, so. The idea was to paint the freehand on all of the burgundy sections. The proper color is called sanguine base, but burgundy is just an easier way to describe it, I think. Or sometimes I've called it maroon. My hands are free. Mekle, it's the hammer that came with the Gusion, but I added a different handle. The original hammer or handle for the Gusion was only like this long, so this handle, it's like from the axe that Zaku 2 high mobility type, like one of the black tri-star ones from the Origin series has. It's like the Zaku that has like a big two-handed axe. Chopped the handle off it to use for this hammer because it's just such a comically blocky hammer, you know. It was one of the things I knew for sure I wanted to be in the final build. A sword addict, nice. So how many swords is that? Like 5 swords? Because the Bale originally has 2. Yeah, I can tell this like bottom freehand pattern is one of the earlier ones I did because it's definitely a bit more uneven than the other ones. But that's okay. Yeah, and in terms of the edge highlighting doing on the bottom of the hammer, it's going to be very minimal. Because, you know, it's the bottom, it won't catch as much light. What's everyone else working on tonight? Or just doing? I know a lot of people on the miniatures side of things are having a blast at Adepticon right now. Just need to mix a bit in a bit of water. Keep things fresh. Oh, I see. Barbatorus. Well, Barbatorus has a larger body to store all those swords on. More like Barbasordus. That was a weak pun. Just a little bit of corner highlighting here. Alright, almost done on the hammer now. Yeah, I think that's all the work we're gonna do on the hammer for now. We got 2 sides of it finished. Hello, Hugo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think YouTube has that functionality, Cyber Scorpio. That'd be something you'd have to do on Twitter. You can add photos to like someone else's thread. Oh, nice. Just doing a solid kit bash within the same kit. Alright, now we will just quickly finish up the backs of the legs. This part's gonna be a little tricky to show on camera, but it looks like you can see part of it. Do that part of it. Yeah, I was using the crappier brushes on the earlier streams because I was saving the nice brushes for this stage. I mean, Solar, and I view kit bashing a lot. I guess it depends on the kit bash. There's some kit bashes where you're like seek out another model kit to buy because you're like want a specific part of it. But there's other kit bashes where it's like, oh, I'm just rooting through the extra pieces I got in the drawer to see what I can recycle from other kits leftovers. On this part here, I was aiming to make just a little comma shape. There's a character in part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure called Sports Max with 2 X's. And he's got these enormous eyebrows that are just literally comma shaped. That line got a little too thick there. And his stand is Limp Bizkit. And his outfit, he's wearing like a purple suit, and it's just like covered in enormous commas, like black comma patterns. It's glorious. That wasn't an inspiration for this project, but you know, it might as well be. Maybe I can work that into some kind of dumb joke in the script. I'm not sure. It'll probably be like, the video for this probably won't come out until the beginning of April. If I had to take a guess, I've kind of been, the beginning of this year, I've been working on a few different projects at the same time, so it's made like the video release schedule really slow to start, but this is like the bigger project out of all of them, so when this one's done, the next 2 videos after shouldn't be too much longer. Fair enough, Cyber Scorpio, fair enough. Drafting an airbrush booth. Nice. Like, are you making one out of wood or something? Thanks. Glad you like the patterns. I like them too. Thanks, Solarian King, I meant to say. I was just thinking to myself, oh cool, I'm almost done working on the legs for now, but then I remembered I gotta edge highlight a bit still. It's not like I hate doing edge highlights or anything. I find them enjoyable most of the time. The good old Lupus side skirts. Those are some fancy skirts. Okay, yeah, I did do the edge highlighting on the inner part already. And the amount of paint I have on the palette should last just long enough. And the foot could probably use a bit of edge highlighting too. I'll probably do that off stream. Just gotta remember to do that later. That'll probably be something I remember to do when I like think I'm done, but then I like, okay, I should go over the whole model to see if there's any areas I missed. And also fix any of like, you know, fix the more distracting mistakes. Camera lagging. Kinda. Turn it on and off in a second. brief interruption, my apologies. Now looks like it fixed it. As I've been like doing the highlights on this project, when I started the project, I imagined I would be highlighting it like I've typically done with my Gamma Wolves projects and highlight it according to like the pose, but it ended up being more like how I highlighted the last project, the ashtray, where it's more of just like a general neutral highlight that's not as dependent on pose. I guess that's because like the work on the armor has all been with this like freehand pattern and not like shading these intense gradients. I'll have to see how it compares with everything at the end. Okay, now I just need to reactivate some of this old paint on the palette. Tidy up this line that I did a little too thick. But you know, for this back part of the leg, there are more edge highlights on this side than there are on this side, in theory, so there's a bit of that. Foam board, and the final iteration will be, oh, aluminum, nice. Yeah, it's holding, or a bunch of Gundams holding Lego sounds entertaining. Another thing I'll be doing at the end of the project is probably just taking like a dry or slightly damp brush to the entire model just to like get all the dust particles I can off. Hopefully not too many of them are just embedded in it. I do keep the pieces in a sealed container when they're not being worked on. You know, in the ever-ending fight against the dust demons. Dust Devil, that's like a kind of brand of vacuum, isn't it? Yeah, now that I've officially started doing this freehand that I've been like thinking about as an experiment for a while now, it's got me like excited about opening a whole new avenue of just ways to paint. So I was getting a little, not tired of, maybe tired's the right word, of like painting the gradients like I have on my other Gamma Wolves projects. I could have like done that again with this one, but you know, I could feel in my gut that I wanted to try something different. You know, I did 7 of those other Gamma Wolves ones. And this one is still very similar to how I painted those other ones, but, you know, just with a new thing. Oh yeah, I know those sword holsters. Those are good sword holsters. Oh, Dirt Devil. Right, I was close. If anyone's been watching the new Warhammer reveals from Adepticon, it was really funny because they revealed a bunch of new Seraphon, like, dinosaur stuff. And then today, Parabellum War Games also revealed a bunch of new dinosaur minis for their Wadroon faction. And it's all, like, all of the minis are great and exciting. It's a good time to be alive if you like reptilian minis. Okay, just a little bit. I think that's good, actually. The new Parabellies, they've got this, like, massive Brontosaurus mini that has, like, you can build it as, like, it's got, like, a big gong or drums on the back and, like, big, like, didgeridoo pipe things, or you can build it as, like, a more combat, like, war machine. Oh, and they got these cool, like, orcs riding Triceratop cavalry that look awesome. And they previewed non-dinosaur stuff for other factions as well, including they revealed the next unit of, like, heavily armored knights for the 100 Kingdoms, and they're, like, so heavily armored. It kind of looks like the horses are wearing, like, big shields on their faces, or just, like, big metal plows. It's pretty wild. And of course, there were, I guess it's a big week for announcements, because there's a bunch of Gundam announcements this week as well. Like that real grade Epion. How many people in the chat want that real grade Epion? If you know me, you know I'm a sucker for dragons, so I'm probably gonna get it. Okay, now I guess we can do 2 pieces at once. Actually, there's a tiny bit of this pink left on the palette. I'm just going to use it up on the chest quickly. Don't want any to go to waste, you know? I do need to reactivate the paint with a bit of water. Yeah, I was also bummed about the this very strange, or yeah, not strange, more like concerning. Excuse me, the concerning lack of master grades. It's a little concerning, you know? Like, real grades are cool and everything, but I feel like it's safe to say most of the community doesn't want master grade to go away. I don't think master grade's gonna go away, but it's, like, definitely been slowing down. Which is, yeah, a little sad. Yes, I did see the Figure Eyes standard Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I am definitely going to buy it. I'm assuming you brought that up because I said I was a sucker for dragons. Of course. I mean, Blue Eyes White Dragon isn't as cool as Red Eyes Black Dragon, but I'll take what I can get. The new Figure Eyes Exodia kit looks pretty sweet also, but I'll probably just admire that one from a distance. Okay. At this point, I'm gonna edge highlight at the same time as doing the pattern. Yeah, I'm assuming that the latest full mechanics that was announced goes along with the other ones, like the Calamity and the Raider. Like, those are all from the set, so maybe, like, they're just, like, getting through that series of full mechanics. Yeah, the full mechanics are... I watched a Zaku Aurelius video today, actually, where he was talking about how, like, the line is getting blurred between the full mechanics stuff in the master grade. I'll probably get another master grade SD this year. I guess there was another master grade extreme with the Strike Freedom. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I just want another Iron-Blooded Orphans Master Grade. You feel me? I can't be the only one. Yeah, I wish the aerial full mechanics came with the flight stand accessory that lets you have all the shield bits flying around. The full mechanics aerial is tempting. So is the high grade aerial. I think I said last stream too, or in a previous stream, I'm kind of want to wait until the show is finished. Because, you know, there's going to be some more, like, upgrades or variations to the Gundam aerial design. Kind of want to wait and see which one will look the coolest. So far, I'm still kind of torn between the rebuild and the OG. They do already have the frame, that's right. A Master Grade Gusion? Oh yeah, that would sell gangbusters. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I feel like the one I would be most excited, or like, yeah, I don't know. It'd be I think a Master Grade Grays would be cool, like the Grunt. Just because those tend to come with a lot of different options to play around with. It's hard to say. Master Grade Bale was also feel like that's like decently likely, you know, if there will be another one. Or who knows, maybe even maybe just another. No, that wouldn't make sense if there's another Master Grade Barbatos upgrade kit that like changed it to the Barbatos Lupus. I'd be pretty surprised if that happens, I suppose. That'd be a move out of left field, I think. Yeah, maybe Taz is right. They're just catering more to the casual builder right now. Just I suppose that makes some sense. With the Witch for Mercury coming out and everything. And it was funny seeing how that like new like Gundam base or like limited edition Sasabi, everyone's just memeing on it for having like lobster claw accessories or crab claw. Yeah, I mean the Flauros would be really cool as a Master Grade because of the transforming gimmicks they could do. Oh yeah, I guess the Grays is a different frame. I didn't think of that. Good point. I feel like Bale's probably the most likely one then. Even though the one we all want secretly is the Master Grade Gusion. Part of me feels like it's more likely they'll just have like Barbatos Lupus or Lupus Rex as the next one. But another part of me is like wondering if like a Master Grade Ariel will come out before another Master Grade Iron-Blooded Orphans. Who knows? If there is a Master Grade Ariel coming, it'll still be a while still. That's my guess anyways. I haven't done research to compare the numbers or anything to see if Witch from Mercury's like done better in its, or had a better reception in its first season than Iron-Blooded Orphans. Oh yeah, no, the Gusion, when I say Gusion, I mean the Gusion. If I mean the Gusion remake, I'll say Gusion remake. Yeah, maybe Vidar would be, that might be more likely as a Master Grade than Bale. Vidar could have a lot of cool gimmicks as well. You know, there'd just be like enhanced versions of those in the full mechanics. Yeah, I also feel like it's done better. Blue Parappa finished the Real Grade God Gundam this week. So I had an enjoyable time watching her do that. And, you know, of course, playing with it afterwards, because that's a very fun kit. When our pre-order came in, you know, we only ordered one, and I let her be the one to get it, because I was like, I already have a God Gundam that I painted, and the Real Grade God Gundam looks like a massive pain to paint. Oh, Nitrous Hero, thank you for the 55 something. I don't recognize that currency symbol, but thank you for the super chat. Very appreciated. And I'm glad you think the build is good. Maybe someone can tell me what currency that is, otherwise I'll have to look it up after the stream. Yeah, I mean, then posability of the Real Grade God Gundam aside, the amount of detail they crammed into like the tiny pieces of it is pretty crazy. Like the individual detail on the panels was like, it seemed more detailed than the Real Grade Hainu. That one was pretty freaking detailed. So the Real Grade Hainu maybe has like slightly more like opening hatch gimmicks, but you know, that's not as posable. Oh, I'm not gonna finish highlighting that spot because I haven't done any freehand on it yet. Yeah, the Hainu is a lot bigger than the God Gundam. I guess the God Gundam is just like a relatively small boy. I like the Barbatos Lupus Rex. Yeah, that'd be a cool one. I like the arms of the Lupus Rex, but I don't like the tail. Or I like the head and like parts of the arms. Like my ideal Barbatos is some combination of the Lupus and the Lupus Rex. My ideal barbatos. Oh yeah, I can't remember if I updated you all that I watched or finished watching Chainsaw Man. I can't remember if I said that in a previous stream, but you know, the priority was to finish Witch from Mercury, and then when I did that, I watched Chainsaw Man, and it definitely met all the hype. Let's keep the chat spoiler free though, please. And next I gotta make sure I finish part 6 of JoJo before that anime convention I'm going to in May. Odafest, if anyone else is going. I'll be entering this Gusion and probably the Vidarbatos into the build contest. Like, I looked at the rules the other day and there's like, you know, 3 or 4 categories. One is youth, you know, which I'm not entering. And then small, medium, large, but I don't think I have anything I can enter into the large category this year, because large in this case is, you know, like perfect grade size. I think this Gusion would fit in the small category. If only there was like a tiny category, I could enter the Pop-Tart Nightingale. Oh, that's pesos. Which new IBO suit? I remember something like that getting announced recently. Is it from the Urdur Hunt mobile game? Wasn't there supposed to be like some, like they're releasing some Iron Blood Orphans recap movies or something to go along with like a new animation from the app? Am I just imagining things? Step a bit there. And what was so much fun about the Master Grade Barbatos expansion was just combining all the different parts and having all the different combos. I mean, that's just, you know, the fun of kit bashing in general. Making something that's all yours. Sort of. When it comes to edge highlighting a lot of these curved lines, I'm really just winging it. And that describes my painting a lot of the time. But I'm just like guessing as to where I think the highlights would, you know, catch the edges of the metal. Oh, got a little piece of chip paint there. I'm gonna have to fix that. I think I'll probably fix that off stream. All 72 frames. Yeah, all 72 high grades and 1 master grade. That's definitely what everyone wants. Alright, thanks for coming by, Taz. Have a good night. Good luck with your work. I enjoyed your podcast episode today, by the way. If anyone's looking for good podcast, or I guess it's like short, medium length podcast content. I don't know, the podcasts I listen to tend to be like over an hour. I think Taz's hover around like the 20-minute mark. I've definitely listened to podcasts like that before. But, you know, as usual, definitely check out Plamotherapist's channel. It's worth it. Oh, and I should say this stream I'm aiming for like about 2 hours or so. Because, you know, it's been a double stream week. I don't want to be... And I did do a decent amount of painting today already. Don't want to overwork myself. This line a little too thick. Let's dial it back there. A combo between 4th and 5th. Yeah, you're right. Which Chimeras is the one that has like the... It's like a jousting knight centaur. Has like front leg transformation gimmick. I like that IBO kit. That would be a fun master grade, but that would really come out of left field. Okay, we've almost used up the pink mix here. Let's rehydrate it one more time. Hello, Caleb. We're doing some freehand tonight. The Chimera's Trooper, thank you. Yeah, that's a high grade I should try and pick up sometime. I like how this brush just has a tasty pink-black gradient on it. Or, you know, there's a black-pink in your area. Is that how the song goes? Those lines are a little messy. Not sure how I feel about those. That'll be the catchphrase of the stream will be, I'll fix that off stream. See, there is kind of an embedded piece of dust or a lump of something there. Another thing I'll have to decide what to do with off stream. When I'm done this bit of pink highlighting here, once I've used up stuff on the palette, I will need to take a quick washroom break. Because I have been drinking a big cup of green tea. And we'll also need to re-moisten the wet palette by then. Yeah, I think here and back down here I need to fully connect these lines. know, because, you know, this is like the top of the armor, so it would be catching a lot of light, in theory. Yeah, the Gusion, I remember reading about the origins of its name. It's pretty interesting. I like cool naming gimmicks like that. Find it more interesting than, you know, like RX-78 or GM ground type. Although gun tank and gun cannon, those are always entertaining names. The Xeon suits always get the fun names. Like, who doesn't want to pilot the Gogg? Or the Goof. And hopefully with now the freehand done on these shoulders, you can all understand why I kitbashed the Gogg shoulders with this kit, because I just had I recognized that the panels, the big flat panels on them would be really good for freehanding. And you know, the shoulders are like a prominent spot that draw a lot of attention. One of those suits that aims to just distract the opponent with all the fancy filigree on the armor, and then bonk them with a big hammer that also has filigree on it. Alright, almost done. I do not watch Survivor. Hugo, are you saying you recently finished to the 8th MS team? I've watched that. Yeah, I mean, with a lot of Gundam shows, I think it's fine to, or like with Gundam in general, I think it's typically fine to, if you don't start off with the original. I mean, yeah, especially since a lot of them are their own thing. I'd like to imagine there's lots of people that check out Witch from Mercury, and then if they like it, go watch the other trilogy of movies, or maybe check out Iron-Blooded Orphans. I think it probably depends what streaming service they're using. Thankfully, Netflix has the original movie trilogy now. They didn't when I first watched it. Okay, I think we'll leave the pink for now. Oh, you're saying that was the first time you saw the goof. Nice. The iconic. I guess it's not the OG goof, but it's still, the goof custom is pretty iconic. Okay, I need to run to the washroom and change the paint water so I can rehydrate the wet palette. Should only take a minute. So now's your chance to leave some bomb messages in the chat for me to come back to, I guess. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's lower that screen. I don't have any fancy scene transitions. Maybe I should. I love me some Valkyries. Oh. Oh. Excuse me. Alright, just re-moistening the old WAP here. Okay, so now we're gonna switch to this synthetic brush and pure red, or golden high flow acrylic naphthol red light. And we're gonna draw on some more patterns. Before I put the glove back on, let's do this piece, which I can just put on a stick. The other one here for reference. Yeah, this paint's very it's very thin and very strong. It's good for the freehand patterns. I don't really need to like thin it anymore. It's like kind of the ideal consistency. Oh, nice. We're at 1:20 already. Somewhere where I can easily see it. And make sure you all can see what I'm doing as well. Okay, so it's kind of two spirals in the middle. I'm kind of trying to like center the like end points of it. Try and get that symmetrical, and then fill in the shape from there more or less. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Because when we do the pink line over top, there is some room to kind of alter the shape a little bit and even it out. And it's gonna be so much I'm just repeating what I said earlier in the stream for the new people, I guess. There's gonna be a lot of visual information across all the freehand of the armor of this model, so small inconsistencies will be kind of hard to notice. Yeah, that would be cool, Solarian. I don't know what's more entertaining to see on the stream, me like drawing in the new lines from nothing and it being slower, or me doing like pink line over top of the red and it like happening a bit faster. But you know, the lines already being there. Yeah, you can see those are like still not super consistent, but they're consistent enough. Let's just prop this up on the side there so I can see it a bit better. Yeah, I already tried. I mean, the only reason I got this Gusion in the first place was because they reprinted some. Who knows if they'll like reprint them again. They're pretty... They probably have other priorities now. I feel lucky to have gotten an Iron Blooded Orphans reprint in the first place. Trying to hold this a bit closer. Spiral here. Let's tidy this up a bit. Sorry, I bumped the mic with the brush there. Yeah, we're a little wide on this end here, so just gonna have to make the line a little thicker, and then we'll have to flex that a bit when we do the pink line. And you know, when all is said and done, if it looks too messy, I can always paint over it and start over. Two Zocs, damn. I need a Zoc still. I've got an SD Zoc now, at least. I need the full boy. There's a Sanosuke has a Zoc she was painting that looked pretty sweet. It's like that's another one that's got a lot of fun edges and also like flat surfaces to play around with on the brush. Yeah, with this one I'm gonna try and paint it from the other direction. Yeah, maybe that went slightly better. Alright, it's the first layer done. Beyblade Gundam, damn. Belial the Beyblade frame. Belial just makes me think of Diablo, the game Diablo. Alright, so we got red on the palette still. Gonna use that, and part of the what I've recorded for the actual video today was doing this part. Made sure I got this side done so I could just know what to replicate on the other side. So I guess there's going to be some annoying back and forth flipping over here, but I don't think it'll be that annoying. Starting by just like putting down the foundational dots, like there's one there and there'll be another one up there. It goes to the corner. Like so. And then we keep going up. And hook around. Sorry, I can hold this a little closer. Camera's lagging again. Suppose I should try and figure out why that's happening. Pretty sure it's the capture card. It's just not a very fancy capture card because I'm poor. Not that poor, I'm just a little. I gotta live a frugal lifestyle, we'll put it that way. Okay, and then I got to level bit of a bracket here. I guess that's kind of what it looks like. You know, this matching the opposite side doesn't matter too much because like they're never gonna be put side by side. They're only ever gonna be, you know, back and forth. Although I guess like I'll have to make sure this matches the other side, like the other shoulder, well enough. I don't think I'll be painting that in this stream though. Thank you, Artichard. Oh yeah, I catch up on the chat and Artichard was saying what I was just saying. Yeah, a Bale, Barbatos, Phoenix, Kitbash sounds pretty cool. Okay, so on the other side, we start going like that. Okay, well, we'll start with the dot. It goes in that corner, roughly. Got a slightly upswinging loop-de-loop here, or hook, I guess. And then that just hooks around to another circle there. Oh, and then you got a weird little M on top there. Maybe that's just my subliminal marketing. M for Mayhem. Guess it's not that subliminal or subtle. Maybe it's a little subtle. Okay. Do a little bit of a curve there. And then more of a curve over here. Right? Yeah, more of a curve than that. Messed it up a little bit, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, that looks close enough. Okay, now I just gotta reinforce that line / tidy it up. But only by adding more paint somehow. And like you saw before, it can be tidied up more when I do the pink line. Yeah, it's like not as matchy on that panel, but it's fine with the front and back. Yeah, Astaroth is probably a demon lord name, I'm guessing, too. Well, still a decent amount of red on the palette, so let's go back to the chest. There's definitely some patterns we can repeat there. I suppose I should put the glove back on. I guess even within the Iron-Blooded Orphans lore, it makes sense that Baal would be the... Or like how Baal exists in the Iron-Blooded Orphans world, that makes sense that it's... The name is the... Would you say the first demon lord? Okay, so we're creating the spiral. And then, which direction do we go? We start there, and then we go out and up. So start here, out and up. A little messy on that one. Alright. And on to this next part. It'll be a bit easier to see what I'm doing, or a bit easier to compare the two sides. Alright. And for this part, we go dot and then under. So dot and under that. A little thick in the middle there, but it's close enough. Alright, the next bit, that's a bit... Okay, so we got like two little twirly boys there. The most Gundam frame of HGIBO are based on animals. Care to elaborate? Dot and then swing. Oh, we got some fibers hidden in the paint there. We can't have that. Had enough of that already. Oh, it's still there. We're gonna have to wipe it off when the paint's dry. Form a little bracket down here. All right. Yeah, the first Gusion is quite obviously a frog, yep. Half the comments I got on it were either about it being thick or about it being a frog. Which, you know, never gets old. Eventually I'll have to come up with some new patterns to connect both these sides here. Oh, the HGIBO bird barber toes. Gotcha, gotcha. And yeah, the Lupus Rex thing, I understand that reference at least. Okay, then up at the top here we get a little question mark looking thing, or just another hook, I suppose. Speaking of hooks, this brush tip's getting a bit of a hook. Sorry, camera's not in focus there. Alright, I'll do this shape up here. Oh, I'm doing that backwards. Don't mind me just using spit to rub paint off. Sometimes it works in a pinch. Maybe it's better if I start from another direction. Alright, let's try it again. Okay. Yeah, let's start from down there actually, that's easier. Up. And then that splits into another line. And then okay, that's what I'm doing wrong. I think. Yeah, okay. So we'll have to get some sanguine base out to tidy this up later. It's okay, at least I figured out the right path now. Well, I got enough red left on here. I'll at least finish the freehand across the back. So you'll get to see me come up with some new shapes on the fly. Flowros is a bit of, is kind of dog-like, I suppose. Alright, let's see. Here I'm feeling, start with a dot here, a dot there. And let's just do 2 little commas. Make the dots a little bigger. There's a piece of gunk on the brush there. These are extra curvy commas compared to the other ones. And you know, obviously for this narrow area here, or like these narrow spots, they don't get anything. Now for this spot up here, not entirely sure. Maybe let's do, okay, yeah, I know what to do. We'll do a little, we'll just do a little V, I think. Or upside down V, I suppose. Then up top here, we can just do the opposite. And we get a little point, or they're like both point into the black section. Could add And a bit more to that. I think that's probably fine how it is, actually. Alright. Oh, a leopard, cool. Do you know if all of these are designed by the same guy? Or same person, I should say. Yeah, replicating these freehand patterns is definitely an interesting challenge. I'm enjoying it. Here we go. Another low comma up top here. Alright, cool. That's all the back has its freehand pattern now, at least the first pass of it. So now we gotta mix up some more of that pink. I don't want to mix it too much. It's only got so much painting energy left. Woo, live paint mixing. Sorry, I need to lean over so I can see past the glare to make sure I'm mixing the right shade. Alright, that should do it for now. Let's grab our alligator clip. Finish the side skirt piece. No, I forgot to say earlier, I'm planning on the feather is gonna be purple. This is I'm gonna use this as the base. That's the current plan. In case anyone was wondering, I might highlight it with the sky blue, might use white. I think we're gonna repaint the shaft for the hammer handle to just be like metallic dark iron as well. Right now it's just like plain black. I think it'll look better with metallic. All right, now we're, oh, I should switch to the smaller brush. Need a bit more control. That's right, Robert. Thank you for being a loyal WAP supporter. think I can do a bit more to just... This line needs to be thickened to match the shape of the other one just a little bit. I suppose I can do the same thing over here and add a bit more on top. Just a bit. Yeah, let's not mess with that too much more. I'm freehanding it. It is not scribed. No scribing has been done on this kit. I don't know if you saw it. Here, I'll give you a closer look at these ones, Robert. I don't know if you saw them earlier, but that's all just freehand armor filigree. Yeah, Hugo, the blue is gonna be, or the eye glow and like leg thruster glow and base are gonna be blue. So I feel like it's got enough blue for my tastes. Once I get one base coat of purple on the feather, I'll have to see how it looks next to everything. I'll probably do the feather last. It'll be the very last thing I paint. I'll make sure to show off the patterns I've done on the hammer again before the stream's over. By the way, in case anyone missed that. Okay, now we do the edges. Yeah, and the edges especially might look a bit different between these, sorry, I haven't been checking if the camera's been in focus. The other side skirt was like the first piece I painted with the freehand to like test to see if it would work, and I changed the recipe like slightly as I was figuring it out, so it might look a bit different. Like I painted over the stuff when I changed the colors, but yeah, it does look a bit different. It's mostly on the edge highlights. It'll be fine though. Thanks, Robert. I've been looking forward to doing this freehand. I was a little nervous to get started because it's an experiment. But so far it's working out pretty good, I think. Yeah, thankfully the slightly mismatched colors on these will be fine because they'll be on opposite sides of the booty. So much dust. Almost done this piece, then I'll catch up on the chat, y'all. Alright, those look close enough. I just missed one low corner up here. Alright. Yeah, it's the Army Painter WAP. I like it a lot. It's a very good wet palette. The sponge took a bit of getting used to though. I mean, I guess that happens with every new WAP I try out. Yeah, I mean, imagine scribing in all these like curved lines. That would take so long. Oh my god. I would never try and scribe something like this. I mean, my scribing skills are almost non-existent in the first place, so yeah, that would be a lot of dang scribing. Okay, next we're finishing this arm. We're finishing the shoulder, I should say. And then I'll do the pink round on the back, and then I'll probably wrap up the stream after that. Went a bit too hard on that line there. Gotta reactivate some of this old paint, fix it. Yeah, I must be, Robert. Are you going to bed? Are you having some stream watching insomnia? All right, good luck with the sports ball, Hugo. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, hello, the other MC. Guess it's bedtime for a few people watching. This is definitely one where I need to use the pink to add a bit more of a curve to the line. Oh, I get that Abe Simpson reference. Yeah, a rotary tool. Yeah, you would need to. It would take like a year to do all this with scribing. It would look a lot different too. It'd definitely be more impressive. But I don't got a year to work on one single froggy boy. Alright, I think that shoulder's done for now. Murder drones? Never heard of that. And yeah, already charred, that's the beauty of it. Well, the beauty of the hobby is just how everyone can do it in their own way. It's like I said way back in my second video, or first video, your marine, your way. I need to remember to bring that back as a line in this video. See if one drop of red is enough for the mix here. Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, Robert, I was drinking green tea earlier, so it's not a big burpee stream, unfortunately. That's another thing I gotta remember to put in the script, at least one burp. I can always go back to the previous streams and extract one of those burps. Alright, well, we're at the 2-hour mark, so I'm not going to add any more paint to the palette after this. But with the amount of paint I got on here, I'm probably going to end up going to 2.5 hours anyways. We'll see. My tummy's grumbling a little bit. That's the thing with a wet palette, I can cover it up and save the paint for later. Is Murder Drones, does it have mecha in it, or is it just purely about drones? A little mistake into the panel line there. Thankfully I could just mop that up. Sorry, as usual, I'm just in the zone with the, like, near the end of the stream painting, and I have a hard time talking. Hopefully the music's loud enough. So this freehand is a totally new thing for my style of Gunpla painting. What's everyone's thoughts on it so far during this stream? How we feeling? I'm having a lot of fun with it personally. Oh yeah, I wonder if I should put something up on there. That's a good question. Could do a little comma in there. I'd have to add more red paint though. So that means it's a decision for off stream. Thanks, Cyber Scorpio. Oh, my shoulder's getting a little sore. Yeah, well, thanks, Artie Chard. I know what you mean. With me, I was more worried I would look too inconsistent across everything, but the pattern is also so busy. It's like I said before, there's a lot of different visual information happening at once. And also, thanks, Robert. Glad you dig it. It'll definitely be a bit harder on the front because there are more like tinier spots on the front. harder to decide on what pattern or what shapes to paint that is. That line was a little too thick. Glow-in-the-dark acrylic paint. I've never thought about using it myself. Maybe if there was like a cheap, you know, Vallejo-sized dropper bottle at a store. Or like, when I say cheap, I mean like reasonably priced. I would maybe consider picking it up just for funsies. I wonder like how thick it would go on. Like how good the coverage would be. Sometimes those janky paints can be a little janky, you know? Alright, see ya, Robert. Thanks for coming by. Okay, almost done for the night. Oh no, that sounds rough, already charred. Yeah, I've only worked with pigments for like weathering purposes. Alright, I feel like I've only got five or so minutes left, maybe 10 of painting. So get any last minute super chats, questions, messages, whatever out now. Oh yeah, that was the areas that I was gonna fix. The sanguine base. I'll have to remember to do that later. Oh, sorry, I don't know how long the camera's been out of focus there. Clearly I'm in the zone. In that flow state, if you know what I mean. Those lines definitely look a little uneven. On either side, I mean. Okay, on to the last little bit here. Well, that comma is varying in size wildly. Between both sides, I mean. Still got plenty hours to go on this project, but this is we're now at the end of the final hours of the final Gusion stream. So thanks again to everyone who came out to watch tonight, and just who came out to any of the recent streams. It's been a blast. You know, I've always got stuff going on in my life outside of YouTube, but yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this and then work on the video, and hopefully you all don't have to wait too long to get the full proper video experience. Right now it seems like it'll come out in early April. A brush of vigorous cleaning there. And I did say I would show off the other pieces. Let's put all the pieces with freehand on them out for y'all to see here. Okay, that's all the pieces with freehand. We got some on the legs there, on the inside of the legs. That's all I've done. Got those side skirts. And we just did this all over the back. And then we got the fancy hammer. We just got this side and the bottom done. And this shoulder. Alright, so that's that. I gotta go now. Gonna go have some food. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. and I hope to talk to you again soon. Good night.